only 3 months into fiscal year 2021, and already more than 210,000 illegal aliens have been apprehended at our southwest border. That's nearly half the total number that came in all of last year, and we're still only in January. Meanwhile, the newly inaugurated Biden administration is signaling for millions more illegal aliens to head this way, with massive caravans of thousands of Central American migrants already making their way to our border and expecting to be let in, because Biden's told them they will be. Earlier this week, he signed an executive order telling ICE to halt all federal deportations, which has only temporarily been blocked in court. He's expected to revoke a Trump policy mandating that migrants stay in Mexico until their asylum cases have been heard, per the law, and to reinstate and expand the unaccompanied alien minors program. He's also expected to create a pathway to legalization and citizenship for the 14 million plus illegals already in the U.S. And he's already announced he plans to increase our annual refugee cap from 15,000 to 125,000. How are we going to afford all of this? Well, he doesn't know. Because, see, we can't. And it doesn't much look like he cares. So get ready for the flood. Here's one migrant explaining why he and thousands of other Central Americans are headed for our borders, ready to cross illegally because Biden has told them they can.
They're having a new president. Where's Biden? He's going to help all of us. He's given us 100 days to get to the U.S. so we can get a better life for our kids and family.
For those who can't see the writing on the wall here, let me break down how this is going to go, because apparently critical thinking and basic logic are in high demand these days. So, setting caps on refugees and having strong border control have nothing at all to do with determining the inherent value of a human being. It's not about their worth as people, whether their home country really does suck, or whether they too are created in the image of God. That is not the point. The point is that we have to maintain a national system strong enough to continue providing a refuge for those in need for generations to come, while also protecting our own people. And the only way that happens is if we control the flow so we don't wind up destroying the very economic system that these people are coming here for. If we throw the doors open as far and wide as they'll go because we're too compassionate to turn anyone away or make anyone wait, or let's be real here, we want to create a whole bunch more Democrat voters, we will tank our own country in the process. And then we won't be any good to ourselves or to the immigrants looking to make a better life here. Let me explain. When you signal that our borders are open and that anyone who can get across them can stay here, not only are you creating the perfect environment for the drug trade, human smuggling, and sex trafficking, not only are you encouraging millions of people to make a deadly journey through Central America with their kids in tow, you're also breaking a dam you'll never be able to stop. The combined population of Central America is nearly 45 million people. A large proportion of them live in crap holes. These are the ones who want to come here. Most are low-skilled workers with little education. According to the UN's Human Development Report, a person in Guatemala, Honduras, or El Salvador spends an average of 6 or 7 years in school. In the US, it's over 13. By and large, they don't speak English. So what happens when they and their families cross over into the United States and are allowed to stay? Well, their non-English speaking kids get shoved into the public school system, where they are automatically at a disadvantage because they don't speak the language. And it is very expensive to teach them. Multiple studies conducted in the greater DC metro area have found that educating a non-English speaking learner costs taxpayers about twice as much as educating a native-born student. In Alexandria, where thousands of unaccompanied minors were placed under the Obama administration, educating English language students comprised nearly 50% of the entire school budget in 2015. That's a 125% increase over 10 years. And this is a massive problem. The National Center for Education Statistics reports that in 2020, a full 16% of first graders enrolled in all U.S. public schools were English language learners. So unless you're a teacher who speaks both, best of luck to you. When they arrive, many migrant kids often are far behind in their grade level and are either held back with kids much younger than them, which creates a whole other set of problems, or they're shoved through the system and wind up slowing everything down for every other child in the classroom. When you flood entire school systems with massive amounts of these kids, the whole structure buckles and it begins to fall apart. Teachers can't keep up. Wealthier parents could pull their kids and put them in private school, but others have no choice but to keep their children in failing classrooms that have been inundated with students who are simply not where they need to be. Many migrants, including most illegal aliens, are low-skilled and low-earning. That doesn't make them bad people, it's just where they're at. Now, we need people to fill these kinds of jobs, but in balanced numbers. That's why we have immigration caps. An imbalance of these workers creates an imbalanced economy. If they're allowed to come in never-ending droves and then they're legalized, that makes them eligible for welfare, housing assistance, unemployment, and Medicaid. According to the Center for Immigration Studies, a full 63% of non-citizen households, including illegal aliens, are on at least one government welfare program. That's compared to only about a third of American households. Now, what do you think will happen when you inundate this system with millions more people and you don't stop the flow? Congratulations. Now you've bankrupted yourself, and you can't help anybody because your higher-earning taxpayers cannot support the weight of all the people now draining the system. This isn't difficult. It's basic economics. It's simple math. We cannot legalize 15 million people, have at least 1 million more a year streaming across our border endlessly, while importing another couple 100,000 refugees and expect all of this to hold up. According to a new report from the Federation for American Immigration Reform, there are about 14.5 million illegal aliens currently in the U.S., and they already cost taxpayers more than $133 billion last year alone. That's up $2 billion from 2019, by the way. We are $27 trillion in debt thanks to COVID and a government that can't get its head out of its own rear end. We're on track for a $2.3 trillion deficit this year alone. We can barely take care of ourselves, much less open this country up to millions more people who also can't take care of themselves. That is economic suicide, and we will be no better off than the countries that these people are trying to get away from. And how compassionate is that? And that's your Reality Check, America. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page, like us on Facebook and Twitter, and stay sane out there.